Hi everyone, this is Morgan from morganlinton.com, and this video is going to be all about how to look at visual analytics data. You know, it's one thing to use some of the analytics tools out there, like Google Analytics, like StatCounter, to be able to see how many people are coming to your site, where they're coming from, and what pages are the most popular. But sometimes just looking at the numbers, it's a little bit hard to really understand what visitors are doing when they see your site and how they're reacting to your site. And when it comes to optimizing a site, trying to get your visitors to bring more revenue and to come back to your site and to recommend your site to other people, then it really takes understanding what goes through your visitors' mind when they come to your site. And really the best way to do that is with visual analytics. Now, I use a company called Crazy Egg. You can go to crazyegg.com and find out more about them. And what you'll see here is a heat map. Now, what a heat map does is it actually tries to simulate what the user's eye is doing at first, and it's really translated in this case through clicks. And this is actually a click heat map. And if you look at this, though, I can get a really good idea of where my user's eye goes when they come to my site, and that's wherever these little dots are the brightest. So I can see that right here, kayaking.org, that the main header gets their attention. And I can also see that the most popular option, as I expected, is this top option, find a place to kayak in your area. And so what that tells me is that when people are coming to my site, this is one of the #1 things they're looking for. But of course, you always have to look at all the data. And the way that I designed the first version of kayaking.org made it really easy to collect this data. So if you look here, I can see a scrolling list of categories. And now it's really, really easy to see, okay, people coming to my site are looking for information about fishing kayaks, ocean kayaks, used kayaks, kayak tours. There's not as much interest in inflatable kayaks or in rafting kayaking. There's a little bit of interest in whitewater kayaking. Now, this is extremely important information to have because when you're designing a site and you're trying to figure out how to optimize it for your visitors, you want to make sure it's as easy as possible for people to find what they're looking for. And if there's a majority of people looking for one or two things, you want those to be very prominently displayed on the site. I can even see here, look, fishing kayak got a click here. So I go, wow, it got a click at the bottom of the site, and there was a lot of interest in it towards the top of the site. When I redesign this, I'll keep that in mind so that it's visible above the fold. Because right now, if I go here, one of my most popular options, fishing kayak, is not available. You can't see it. So I know designing the next version, I have to have that in mind. And with that, I'm very excited to show you the next version and show you how some of the information I received from this visual analytics data drove some of these changes. So let's take a look here, and that's not it. I'll have to find, that's an internal page. I have to open this up here. All right. So let's take a look here at the brand new version of kayaking.org. And I'll actually move this down so you can see the whole site. Now, if you look here, first off, you'll notice that above the fold, I have a lot more detailed information. So first off, I have 4 main areas that I can drive visitors to and 1 main box. Well, why is this so big? Well, it's find a place to kayak, and that's one of the most popular things on the last site. Also, kayaking gear, and of course, kayak fishing, which I said before, it's one of the #1 things that people were looking for on my site, and it was below the fold. They had to scroll to get to it. Who knows how many visitors I missed? So kayak fishing is right here on the front page, very visual. And that's another thing that I did, is I wanted to make it more visual. So if you take a look at the previous version of the site, you'll see it's visual, but not with images that have to do with kayaking. There's a huge image on the front, but it's kayaks without a person in it. And then you have just some plain text with the logo, but it's still plain text. And here you'll notice it's just kayaks without people in it. And I realize this is all about an experience. It's all about kayaking. That's an experience unto itself. And so I wanted to really give that feel. So I created a new logo that actually shows the action of paddling. I have a giant image that shows a person kayaking, and it says find a place to kayak, and this person's kayaking in a really beautiful place. That, I think, connects with people a lot better. And then I have a lot of the top things people are looking for right here with an image that is supposed to go directly with the event. So if you look at this, it's a bunch of life jackets, and you go, oh, kayaking gear, that makes sense. Here's a ton of kayaks. Oh, kayaks for sale. And that's the idea. I've also added things like a newsletter, and there's a lot more to this. But really, the whole point of this video is to let you know that using tools like a heat map, and you can actually even augment in Crazy Egg to something called an overlay, where I can see based on color how many clicks I get. So those with the red are the most popular. And so I can easily see here, this is sometimes for people even an easier way to visualize their data. I can see, okay, ocean kayak, used kayaks, those are the most popular. But using visual analytics really can help you understand what your visitor sees when they come to the page, and then can help you redesign it so you're delivering a better experience for your visitor, which in the end should mean more revenue for your site, better word of mouth, and of course the number one thing when it comes to development, which is repeat customers. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be doing this as many times as I can a month, going through some of the things that go through my mind and how I think about my development projects and turning a flat domain name into a brand, into a business.